Hi, I'm Paul Evans. I'm from Fourth Estate Creative. We're a content creation agency. We make magazines and print content, printed guides and brochures and so on. We also work in other media. We build websites, we make videos, we do podcasts and so on. But my background is in magazine publishing, and magazines have always been by far my favourite medium. In fact, for the work that we do, we try and look at magazines as a sort of model that could be applied to other media. So when Nikki from the International Magazine Centre asked me to do a little video about my favourite magazine, I was sort of thinking about what sort of shows that model off best. I mean, I've got loads of great magazines that I love. The New Philosopher, which was mentioned in one of the previous videos, Traffic, Monocle, Delayed Gratification, The New Scientist, all have their own particular strengths, and I love beautifully designed magazines and also inventive magazines. But for me, what the magazine does best is that it builds around a broad topic or a set of values, and then within that it creates space for perspectives, for articles to come from very different places that are not sort of driven by the news agenda. It doesn't have to be tied to an event that happens. They're just chosen on merit. How good is the writing and how good is the idea? And I think what a magazine then does with that kind of content is that it takes it and it applies a hierarchy of information to it that makes it easy to read. So, I mean, for me, it's the magazine I read the most. It's the magazine I have most copies of. This is going back about the last 5 years since the redesign, but I've got plenty more before that. And I'll show you this in a second, and I think it does an excellent job. But in terms of sort of its values, the New Humanist magazine is published by the Rationalist Association. So the Rationalist Association is a charity that's over 100 years old. At one point the magazine was, in one of its former guises, edited by Bertrand Russell. So this is an organisation with a great history and a great provenance. It's committed to rationalism, it's committed to reason, it's committed to science, it's committed to evidence-based views rather than views based on religious beliefs. So there's a sort of set of values there, and then within that, the magazine really is free to focus on all sorts of different things. So I mean, this is the latest copy I actually have hold of. There has been a copy since, I think. This is sort of the climate crisis. We've got a previous one which is about arguing and reasoning. We've got ones on technology. We've got ones on religion and power. Nationalism and so on. So there's a huge range of topics that are covered, and I think what the magazine does really well is again that hierarchy of information. So I love the cleanliness and minimalism of the design that they've got. So it's really straightforward. You're just getting, the design is just enough. You're getting what you need and nothing more. You have a layout here giving you an indication of all the different topics that will be covered, and you can sort of jump in from here. You've got the content, so you've also got the contributors, so you can think about what you want to read about, and you can also think about who you want to read. There is a section which I love as well, which is 12 things that we learn this issue. So I think that's a really nice touch. It's a list of things that you could learn by reading about particular articles, and again, there's a nice jump in point there. The flow of the magazine is great. We have this section at the beginning where we have shorter content. There's always a Q&A and the witness section. So it's sort of their upfront section. We have nice short pieces that you can sort of dip into if you don't have time. We've got a column as well from Marcus Chown in there. And then we jump into the features, and this is the bit that I really love. The articles are fantastic, and as I say, you're hearing a lot of different perspectives. There is something of a political bias, I suppose, with the New Humanist magazine, as there tends to be with any media. But you really do hear from quite a range of different authors and a range of different perspectives. And again, I just love the minimalism here. You're seeing the article on a spread like this, You've got a couple of pull quotes. So when you're flicking through the magazine, you can sort of have a look. Am I interested in this? Do I want to read it? We've got the headline and stand first here that give you the information, and other than that, you're just jumping in and reading. And I love the confidence there to leave you just to enjoy the article because they know that it's a quality article. So for me, that's what a magazine does really well. It's not just about design. It's not about being clever with layout and so on. For me, it's about finding a way to get a range of information built around a topic or built around a set of values over to people in a way that they can enjoy comfortably. It's beautifully designed and just a joy to read. So if you're bored during self-isolation, get yourself a copy of New Humanist magazine.